I have Julio Jones at 5, and I will tell you why he is lower on my list. He has been one of, oh, you little shit. Ooh. I just broke my freaking light. Ow. I am so sorry, everybody. That is going to be I'm going to edit.
For real.
I'm going to edit the shit out of all that. Give me like 3. Give me 2 seconds. I fucking just blasted my head with my fucking light, dude. Oh, man, that hurt. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. We're going to come back. All right. On this episode of the KD Sports Talk, we're throwing it back. Yeah, we're gonna go throwback on this one. It's the original 2. It's just Ken and Derek this week.
Yeah.
Nick is having dental pain. Whatever. he talks that much in this podcast, anyways.
Constantly. Try to get a word in.
Oh my god! So for real. But we love him. So hopefully next week we'll all be here and we can argue about something whatever. Stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Whatever stupid happens in the world of sports. Talking about something stupid happening in the world of sports. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is in the news again because apparently he couldn't help himself and he had to be in the news 2 days in a row because just yesterday it came out saying that he was probably going to retire within the next week.
Yeah.
And then just today, July 26th, apparently they've got a whole new extension for him. It's only for a year. He is guaranteed to play with the Green Bay Packers through this upcoming season.
I didn't see that. So yeah, that's new.
Yeah. So apparently now it's just pretty much everything is done except for it's not finalized. So
here's my thing with that. I think it's weird, and we're obviously we all have to wait to see what's true or not.
Right.
But I think it's weird that the same day that the Packers organization had a State of the Union kind of meeting with their owners.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is that was that today?
Yeah. The same day, all of a sudden, their GM keeps saying, "Oh, well, I'm very hopeful. I'm sending I'm having positive vibes on this," and then half an hour later, Aaron Rodgers tells close family that he's coming back. So,
but didn't he wasn't that the report
too
yesterday?
Convenient.
Yeah, wasn't that the report yesterday? Was that he told close friends that he was retiring? No, that he was retiring.
Oh, yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's like, next week he's retiring, and then all of a sudden,
yeah, this is
today with the State of the Union.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
So I think it's kind of weird.
This whole thing has been weird because I know you guys talked about it, but they offered him a contract to make him tied to being the highest paid quarterback or player in the league ever, and he turned it down.
Right. So, which made me think, okay, it's not about money, but now they're saying, oh, we're working on an extension. What are you talking about?
How is this not a thing? How are you able to offer him the largest contract in league history, or one of the largest contracts in league history, and he declines it? But now we don't know. Obviously we don't know the terms, but if it's just an extension for the next year, more than likely he's not going to be the highest paid player in the league.
Yeah. I thought it was really weird. And then as soon as that happened, snowballs. So their odds went from 2,800. Yeah, well, yeah. Went from 2,800 to 1,400 for winning the Super Bowl.
Off of one news report.
I know. And then now apparently Adams is open to a contract now that Rodgers is coming back.
Well, I heard that he's not even, if I read this correctly, he's not even looking to like get an extension. He's just going to come back. He's not holding out at all for it. He's just coming back. But I mean, and it makes sense. Like it makes sense because he didn't want to play without Rodgers, and he's obviously a better receiver with Rodgers throwing him the ball. So the two go kind of hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what does that say about? I don't know how I want to say this, but like if Adams is not willing to come back to play with Jordan Love, what does that say about him?
You know what? I'm not even gonna. You mean what does that say about Adams or Love?
Actually, kind of both, because if Adams doesn't really want to come back to play without Rodgers, then he doesn't really want to be in Green Bay. He just wants to be with Rodgers.
That could be, sure.
And
and then as far as Jordan Love is not Aaron Rodgers. Let's not be silly here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
it doesn't matter.
Sure.
Like no starting wide receiver who's made their name wants to be with the backup quarterback. So
right.
I don't really think that's a reflection on Love. It's just, Rodgers is really good.
Rodgers is really good.
So
I thought he was retiring. After yesterday, I saw that. I thought that was the report came out, and I was like, damn. I mean, that makes sense because, I mean, the man's living his best life right now. I mean, he's got a beautiful fiance. He's going on vacations constantly. I mean, he's doing whatever he wants. So
yeah.
But now he's coming back and this is another thing too. This is what's killing me. He's coming back for a year.
Maybe. Who knows? I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I mean that's the rumor is that this extension is going to be guaranteed for a year.
Which makes me tell you,
like, does he want to just play one more year in Green Bay and then move on and go somewhere else?
Well, people are comparing this and because Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams shared the picture of Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan giving the fist bump. Is this the last dance? No. Last dance would be, we won a championship last year. We're coming back for one more championship. That's the last dance. This is just the last chance.
Yeah, last chance.
That's all it is. It's really, I don't know.
I thought it was funny that they were like, everyone thought it was like the last dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way I read it was that it was Rodgers and Devontae fist bumping because they were, it was done. Like, they were just, like Rodgers is MJ and Devontae is Pippen, and they're just fist bumping because they're going their separate ways. They're done. It's over with. And now, obviously, that's maybe not the case. God only knows what's going to happen tomorrow. This whole conversation could be fucking worthless.
We'll have a new story. Well, and then let's keep on the topic of quarterbacks coming back here.
100%.
Deshaun Watson is not holding out. He's not doing he's just showing up.
He's just showing up to camp.
And a lot of people think it's because he wants to show, first, I'm ready to play football. I'm in shape. I'm willing to put in the work. I just don't like the organization. My question to you, Texans are open to trading him now. Before they were just like, screw that, we're not trading him.
Yeah, we're not.
Now they're open to trading him. 3 first-round picks is what was rumored. Let's say, all things aside,
everything.
Deshaun Watson, yes,
everything off field.
That's right.
Okay.
Put that aside.
Okay.
Is he worth 3 first rounds? Stafford got 2 first rounders.
Oh man, I want to say yes. I
kind of agree.
So
I kind of agree.
I really wish I would have thought about this before we started recording, but I don't have any numbers on players who have been traded for 3 first rounds.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily been done, but the thing is Stafford got, he got 2 first rounds. Stafford's older, though more proven as far as consistency, but he's older. Deshaun Watson could be the future of your franchise for the next how many years?
Well, maybe not even one. He's got.
So we're putting that aside for now.
Okay, that's fine. We're putting it aside.
Right. So him just like if there's none of the allegations happen, I think he's still like I would try to not give them 3 first rounders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would try my best. I'm cool with two first rounders and like
a second
and maybe I'd give you half of my fucking draft, just not 3 first rounders.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
I just found an article. I found an article, but it's not even telling me how many first rounders that they're fucking. How many? This is stupid.
That's fine. Yeah. Matthew Stafford was probably the one that kind of broke the bank. That's kind of broke the mold there.
I mean,
huge one.
So for 3 first rounders, listen. Again, if everything off field is resolved and it's will not affect his on field play, whatever, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If let's say I don't even know.
I think a similar haul to what Stafford got is very
okay. But all right, so let's play it this way. Who has the cap space, the picks available, and doesn't have a quarterback?
Don't know. So the team that I'm already thinking, I don't know what they've got as far as that's concerned, the capital and all that, but San Francisco was very, very upset that they missed out on the Stafford sweepstakes.
Yeah, but I mean, you have Jimmy G and you have holy shit. What's the kid from Trey Lance? There we are.
Yep.
So they have
that's also true. Man,
I'm racking my brain
because Jets picked the quarterback.
The Jets have their quarterback.
Jags,
they have their quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the market is really cooled down on them now. Are you going to say it because that has been brought up?
Detroit.
Yeah, and it's always just people. Like the beat writers within Detroit,
right?
You know what I mean?
They're
talking about it.
Yeah, they're gonna bring it up because it's something for them to write for a day.
Right. Not plausible. That's crushing. So we worked so hard. We got rid of Stafford for these picks, so we can use these picks to rebuild this team, and then we give them all away right away.
Who's your starting quarterback right now?
Jared Goff.
Oh, that's right. I'm an idiot. Duh. Because of the Stafford deal. Yeah. Stupid. My brain is shutting down.
Okay, so you've got that, and we say, yeah, he's almost worth 3 first round picks.
But not when you have Jared Goff, though. Not when you have Goff.
Sure. Now, the Texans are out of their mind if you take into account what's going on off field with him. They're out of their mind.
Yeah.
You want me to give you 3 first rounds for a chance that I'm not going to get to play this guy?
Yeah, never, ever. That would be
my contingency. They get this year's first round. Maybe I just give them a dummy first round. Okay, that sucks. But if
not a first rounder.
But if he's not on the team,
yeah, nothing else.
Then the rest of it falls through, and we get our draft picks back. That would be my contingency because that's a high risk.
Where did I see the damn right here? So on ESPN, it was written by John Barr. Lawyers, 2 women with new allegations amongst the 10 filed to file police complaints against the quarterback. Now, these are just complaints, but there are officially now 12. Officially 10. So it was 8 and now it's 10. Now they're just police complaints. They're not pressing charges. Not the way that's not the way it sounds. They have filed complaints with the Houston PD against Deshaun Watson. I don't know. So yeah, I think it's gonna go civil. So maybe he could just like plea bargain his way out of it. Like it's maybe he's on parole or
Yeah, but what a judge or the judicial system decides to do to Deshaun Watson is different from what the NFL is going to decide to do.
Right. I mean,
so they could say, hey, you got off scot-free, or you get a slap on the wrist with a fine, and the NFL says you're out for so many games.
Right. Well, okay. So there's that. Let's say he gets suspended for half the fucking season. So let's just say 8 games for this whole debacle. Is he worth it still? I mean, long term, obviously, yes.
So once again, if that happens, then yes, the price tag goes down. And
I agree.
And that's just how it is.
I agree.
I'm giving you these picks to use the person, not now. You can't guarantee an injury. I get that. If we give you 3 picks, he gets a career-ending injury.
Yeah, you're just fucked.
That's a risk. But yeah, with everything going around him, 3 first rounds is way too large. That's just ridiculous. But he is a franchise quarterback. He will lead your franchise. He is proven. He's better than, because we haven't seen him play yet, he's better than any rookie that was drafted this year easily.
Oh, yeah.
So it's no brainer to get a franchise quarterback. The problem, once again, is everything going off. Are you going to have him?
Yeah, I agree. He take away all of the off-field stuff, and I think we need to say it because we haven't said it yet this podcast. But if it's true, we hope justice is served. If it's not true, the people who are accusing him should just face the same. But
that's a different topic. But
yeah.
I feel the same sentiment here.
Yeah, but yeah, like on the field, he has proven for the past couple years that he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
He's one of my fantasy quarterbacks. Love him.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
I would never not draft him if he was available to me, which I can't wait to start talking about fantasy, dude. I've been watching the league. Yeah, I've been watching the league again, renovating the house. Like, I just want to be able to listen to something and understand what's going on. Like, I haven't even watched the new season of Ted Lasso yet because I want to be able to sit down and watch all the episodes without distraction. But I can turn on the league and listen to them talk and just know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting me so pumped to do fantasy again.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it's going to be, that's one of my favorite times. So that should be great.
God. Yeah.
And last year I got highest points. So get at me.
Well, this year me, you, and Nick are gonna have to find a league. We can't just have the 3 of us.
Right. We'll talk about that.
This is. I mean, we can talk. We don't have to talk about it right now, but that just came to me. What we should do is not only have like the actual fantasy, but we should do like a daily. You know, like every week we draft like our players like on like FanDuel or whatever, or not FanDuel, it's a FanDuel, whatever it is. But we draft like our player DraftKings. We draft and we'll see who scores the most points every week.
Yeah, we can do that.
That'd be fun. Sure. Anyways, so oh my gosh, I mean it is just. I mean,
news around the NFL is kind of buzzing, but
it's buzzing a little bit, but it's just, oh my gosh. Like we have like the Rodgers stuff obviously going on. There are a couple players getting re-signed again.
Big one.
Yeah, the Washington football team is re-signing Jonathan Allen to a 4-year, $72 million deal with a $30 million sign-on bonus, which is huge. That is a huge contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then not obviously, but the Steelers are looking into re-signing TJ Watt.
Yeah, it's signed to an extension.
Which is a fucking no-brainer.
Yeah. Still at the top of his game.
Yeah, I wish Nick was around so he could at least be able to gush about his Steelers for 2 seconds, because everything else is just shit show with them. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously TJ is he's great. He's one of the best one of the best players on defense in the league. So, that was always going to happen. I don't think the Steelers were ever going to let him go, honestly.
No, they like to keep on to like they're going to get that stud defender,
like
and they're going
Palomalu.
to keep him. Yeah, they're going to
Like
keep that
Palomalu.
stud until he's
Ran
good.
into the ground.
Yeah.
What was the other one? What was the
James
not
Harrison? They've got
yes. Harrison, that's who I was thinking of. I kept wanting to say Cameron Hayes, but I knew that, or what was his name? Cameron it doesn't matter. Screw it.
the next one's kind of a big deal. I didn't realize this. I was just looking for things and found this. Chandler Jones, the pass rusher who's all pro. He's fantastic. For the Cardinals, he's asking for a trade.
Do you think it has anything to do with JJ? Because that was the thing. That was when JJ got
on
there.
Separate sides.
They're on separate sides.
I thought the whole point was like Chandler Jones and JJ Watt are going to just
tear it up.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the whole talking points, and like everyone was gushing about their pass rush when JJ Watt got there because Chandler Jones was on the other side. And now he's this is news to me. Literally, I pulled up our show notes. I saw you put it in there, and I was like, but why?
Yeah, I
like,
don't.
Why would you do this? Like, he has
it. Says that what I'm seeing right now is he's just unhappy over his contract,
bro.
And then here, there's someone saying Bills should offer a first-round pick for Chandler Jones.
I mean, the only team that I can think of that doesn't need another pass rush. No. The Browns would take him. I 1,000% believe that the Browns would take Chandler Jones right now.
Okay, so first of all, Chandler Jones is unhappy with his contract and future with the team.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals don't want to trade him and expect him to report to camp, but certainly a situation to watch. This is just an article here written by Gary Davenport of Bleacher Report. Just a couple potential landing spots, trade partners here. Baltimore Ravens, not happy. You wouldn't be happy with that.
No. And I take that back. The Browns wouldn't. The Browns don't need him.
No.
We have Clowney.
No. Buffalo Bills. The Chargers, him on the other side of Bosa would be just
insane.
And they lost Melvin Ingram.
Yeah, that would.
Miami Dolphins.
The Dolphins could always use a better player. That's kind of a give me.
So those are the couple that article stated. So I'm glad that it's not the Lions. Once again, we don't need any all pro guys. We're rebuilding a team, so we're gonna get.
I honest to God can't tell if that's sarcasm or not.
No. See, here's my thing. Like we know, and even the coaching staff for the Lions have said it's going to be a 2-year minimum, possibly a 3-year project here.
Right.
I don't want a Pro Bowl player. Yeah, yes, I do. Yes, I do want a Pro, but I don't expect him to come to Detroit during the rebuild phase.
No.
They're gonna waste away 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I agree. You can't. It's hard. Like, I mean, I can't say much because we've been good for a year, but you can't expect players to just randomly want to show up in Detroit during a legitimate rebuild. Like, that the coaching staff is brand new and they're getting their stuff, in line. That they're trying to get their own players in there, their own, culture. And once that gets built, then you can maybe look into getting some all pro players.
Yeah.
Now if an all pro player comes out and says, I want to come to Detroit to help with the rebuild, then bro, you're
I mean, we've got great players. We've got Brockers, Michael Brockers on the line, defensive line. We've got great players like that know it's a rebuild and are comfortable with it. But
right. And that's what I'm saying. If they know that if they know they're walking into a rebuild and they're comfortable with it, they want to help that organization rebuild, by all means.
Brockers didn't have a choice. He got traded.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, he's making the best out of a shit pie.
I mean, yeah, you're getting paid. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not fulfilling if you're going to be going, 5-12 or 6-11, but whatever. But you know what it is, and you're getting paid. So,
Right. You want to move on to some NCAA stuff?
I do actually, because this is kind of like a big, ridiculous deal. So, the biggest rumor in college football right now is that the Big 12 may be dissolving.
Okay.
And the where this is coming from is there's a report that I cannot find anymore, but everybody's talking about it, where Oklahoma and Texas have both came out and said that they are not renewing their grants, which just means their right to their portion of the Big 12 media deal, which is set to renew in 2025. This obviously means that if you're not going to be accepting the media deal money, that you're not going to be in the conference anymore. Which is not I mean, let's be honest. In college football, schools change conferences all the time. It happens a lot.
Yeah, but for an entire conference ago.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
But with with Oklahoma and Texas both coming out, they are two of the biggest schools, not just in the Big 12, in the country.
Mm-hmm.
They make some of the most. I mean, the revenue just from football alone is some of the highest revenue in the country. I mean, they're right up there with Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson right now, USC. They're just huge money makers. And if they leave the Big 12, I mean, A&M had already left. They're a huge moneymaker as well. And that hurt the Big 12.
Yeah.
And if you lose Texas and Oklahoma and they both go to the SEC, there's no one to keep the lights on. Like the Big 12 will legitimately go down to being like the WAC or Conference USA. They won't be a Big 5 anymore. And so there's no need to keep them relevant.
Sure. And I think those two schools, they're seeing, with all this money being made and all that, they're seeing that they're like, we could go to a bigger conference, SEC or whatever, and possibly be more enticing to recruits.
So that was my next point, was that now with NIL, you want to be able to tell your recruits, hey, not only are you going to be having a meaningful, career here, because we're going to be playing in some of the best schools, or we're going to be in contention every year for college football playoff.
Yeah.
But you're also going to be able to make a shit ton of money because we're in the SEC. People are going to want to, they're going to want to have brand deals with you because of your affiliation with the SEC.
Absolutely.
And you can't really say that with the Big 12.
No.
Texas and Oklahoma probably make more money by themselves than the Big 12, the rest of the Big 12 combined. And every year when it's the Red River Showdown, it's Oklahoma versus Texas. That is the Big 12 game. There's no, and I know that it's better in the Big Ten. I mean, we got Penn State, Michigan, and us, and Nebraska, Wisconsin, and Northwestern's becoming better every year. So those games are getting a little bit more competitive. In the Big 12, it's literally it's just Oklahoma. I mean, let's just be completely honest, and say what it is. Oklahoma just runs the table. I think they've won the last 6 years in the Big 12, but there's no, outside of Texas and Oklahoma now, there's really nothing going on. You get Baylor every once in a while, and they're good, but in an overall arching, it's just Oklahoma and Texas that are keeping the Big 12 alive. And I personally think this is a smart move for both of them. They need to get out of that weak ass conference, because they're not, like, now with NIL, they're not going to get the recruits that they used to get.
Right.
You're gonna have kids from Oklahoma and from Texas. Now, granted, Ohio State recruits out of Texas like madmen. I mean, we get all of our players from there, but you're gonna see it happening more and more and more, where they're not gonna want to stay in state or in their general vicinity, because one, they know that they're going to be able to make more money at other schools. Is Oklahoma and Texas big money makers? Yes. And Texas, being in Austin, I'm sure that they're going to have a big enough market to have brand deals with, like, inner city, or not inner city, but in their city, like car dealerships and restaurants, whatever the fuck, right? But Oklahoma, they're just in Norman. It's not, I mean, it's a big college town, but it's just not a big city.
So I got a couple things here for you. So you're right. Oklahoma has won the last 6 Big 12 championships.
Don't know where I got that from.
They lead the conference with 14 total.
Makes sense.
The next closest is Texas with 3.
3 Big 12 championships?
Yes. 96,
How long?
05, and 09.
You are fucking kidding me. Oh my, how long has the Big 12 been a thing?
Looks like 96.
Since 96?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel a little bit, I mean, that is still a shit number. That is 3. You've had 3 conference championships and you're Texas. Like,
yeah.
That's just ridiculous. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. Now, what I was going to get at after I was talking about all that, was that for Oklahoma, I feel this is a good move. I feel like Oklahoma going to the SEC makes sense. They are a stronger school when it comes to football. They've had better teams. They've produced 3 Heisman Trophy winners almost in a row. Outside of Joe Burrow, because you have Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, and one more. What the hell is his name? Doesn't matter. Anyways, I want to say Bradford, or no. No.
So you've had Sam Bradford, you've had
Yes.
Robert Griffin, and you've had Baker Mayfield within the Jason White as well in 2003. Eric Crouch Crouch, Nebraska quarterback.
Well, that's Nebraska. Oklahoma. I was gonna say RG3 is Baylor.
OU, yes. So Sam Bradford, RG3, and Baker Mayfield.
You keep saying RG3. RG3 is Baylor. Kyler Murray is from Oklahoma.
Is Baylor not in the Big 12?
Yes, but I'm talking about Oklahoma. I'm just talking about Oklahoma in general.
Yeah.
Now, Kyler Murray won the Heisman.
Yes.
So 3. So anyways, they've had like big time quarterbacks and stuff like that, and so they are more equipped to win in the SEC. They depending on how like everything works out with like realignment and stuff like that. If the Big 12 does dissolve later on, Oklahoma will actually compete in the SEC. I think Texas going to the SEC is not that good of a move for them. I don't think it's smart. I think Texas would actually be better in like the Pac-12 or even the ACC. because with the ACC, it's kind of like Clemson, and then there's everybody else. And Texas could compete to be the best of everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like, as of right now, because now with the NIL, I don't know how Clemson's gonna do. It's not one Dabo's not a fucking fan of it at all.
Fair, but I'll tell you right now, they're still on television, winning championships, competing for championships.
You're right.
The exposure's there. That's all that matters.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I want to see how their recruiting goes with NIL, because it's gonna be like, okay, so Ohio State. I know I talk about it a lot, but it's true. We have the biggest alumni of any school in the nation. We have a lot of a lot of alumni make a lot of money. They own a lot of businesses. They are willing to sponsor these players. I mean, hell, a lot of them are already boosters anyways. Mm-hmm. Alabama, same way. Alabama has a lot of big time boosters now because of how well Nick Saban and the football team have been playing. Was it like that way back, like back in the 90s and stuff like that? No, it wasn't like that, but it's like that now. And like USC, it's fucking LA. There are like I think UCLA is going to see a big uptick in some big recruits because they are in LA. And USC is the same way. They're in LA. They're going to see a lot of uptick and a lot of big recruits. But these other schools like Oklahoma and Texas, the only way Oklahoma is going to get these big recruits is if they say, hey, you're in the SEC now, and you're going to be able to compete against Alabama and Auburn and Florida and hell, A&M again. You're going to be able to play against A&M again, which is a big fucking deal, well, at least for Texas. But that's the only way that they're going to be able to convince these kids in the NIL era to play for them, because that's where their money is going to come from. It's going to come from playing against these big time opponents, and that's going to put them in big time stages and on TV a lot. And then the sponsorships are going to come. It's not just inbred stuff like with Oklahoma or with Alabama and Ohio State and USC, like any big city school.
I do want to kind of just add a little bit of statistics here. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma has produced, through their entire history, 7 Heisman winners.
That is significant.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Kyler Baker, Sam Bradford, and then I mentioned Jason White. Yeah. Those were the 2000s. The other ones there's 3 before that. So
yeah, they're like I said, they're a good program. It's just, and I think they'll compete a lot better than Texas will, and in the SEC. I think Texas should go to either the ACC or the Pac-12. I mean, they would compete in the Big Ten, but I just geographically, I don't think it works. At least the Pac-12 and the Big Ten or the ACC can kind of work their way down that way. I don't know.
All right. Are we good to go on to our top 5s this week?
I think so.
We have.
I mean, it's like, there's.
This is how you get through a podcast, Nick.
I even rambled about the fucking,
and we're still chugging along, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
would you want me? So before last week when you weren't here, he did yours first, and then we went over ours. Is that how you would like to do it?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So I'm going to go over Nick's. I'm going to say Nick's first, and then I'll say my own, and then Kenny can say his. So
are we doing 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So at number 5. We both have the same person at number 5, and it's Stephon Diggs for both Nick and I.
I have him on my list. I do not have him at number 5.
And okay, so clearly higher. Yeah.
Yes, there's a reason why for me. Nick, I'm looking at this and man, like I don't know, like we have a lot of the same people, and it obvious,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I think
it's
Nick's is a
very
little bit like kind of the most
Nick's
variation. I think.
yeah, Nick is Nick. I mean, he's gonna have his own fucking shit. Just like last week when he got pissed off with me putting Lamar Jackson as my my top five running back.
Salty.
He was cool with it at first when I was editing the episode.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool with it, and then he got to like number 3, and he was like, "God damn it, Kenny!"
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you screwed him up. So who do you got at 5?
So I have Julio Jones at number 5. All right. I know listen, he is one of the best wide receivers to ever play the game.
Mm-hmm.
I am super pumped to see what he does in Tennessee, especially with AJ Brown on the other side. It's not just him. He's going to have help. And I know he had help in Atlanta, but it's not like he's not like he's going to a team where he's just by himself and he's going to get blanketed every fucking game. So I cannot wait to see what he does. My issue is just age. He's been at it for a long, long time. I think with the trade, it might rejuvenate him for a little bit, but I don't know if he's going to be able to put up the same amount of numbers as he has with Atlanta.
Yeah.
He might have found the fountain of youth or some shit like that, and he's able to do it. Maybe. But I have him at 5.
Julio's fantastic. I'm
age.
not sure any of us are going to have really an argument. It's just about where we place guys.
Yeah.
So so number 4, he has Mike Evans. And then for me,
I love you, Nick. I swear to God, you did this on purpose.
My running back list was all about what have you done for me lately. Mm-hmm. If I went with that for the wide receivers, this guy wouldn't be on it. But I have Michael Thomas as my number 4.
See, and it's
tough because what have you done for me lately?
Yes,
almost nothing, and now he's going to miss some time already this year. But when he's playing, when he's healthy, he's
now he also doesn't have
unstoppable.
But now he doesn't have Breeze either.
Throw it up.
The ball.
Throw it up. He's still going to catch it, man. Can't guard Mike.
But okay, there's a difference between Jameis Winston throwing the ball directly to the defense.
Well, throw it up. Give him a chance. He's going to catch it.
I agree with you. And his Twitter handle says it all.
Guard Mike.
You can't guard Mike.
Right.
Because you can't.
Yeah.
And he's great. And him and
I get it. I get it with what he's done lately.
Yeah.
He maybe shouldn't be on here, but yeah.
There was another guy I cannot think for the life of me, and I don't know why. It was him and another guy. They were like 6 and 7 for me. Okay. My number 4 is DeAndre Hopkins. I know it's a little low, but he's still really, really good. And I don't know. Like my 4, 3, and 2 could literally be mixed matched. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter where they go. I do have my definitive number 1, especially after the news for today. But I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, he's a really great wide receiver.
He's as a nuke is absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So number 3, here is where Nick put Julio Jones. Yeah. For me, that is Devontae Adams.
Why so low?
So you think that's low? So for me, the two guys,
where I put him, yes.
Yeah. So the two guys before above him, one is more of a multi-threat as opposed to just. I mean, Adams is a fucking phenomenal. Like this isn't to slight him, and it's not because he's on the Packers. There's a personal preference above him, and then there's just the multiple threat version of this guy.
I got you
ahead of him. That's all.
Okay.
He's fantastic. This isn't to slight him. I'm
Yeah.
not doing this because he's on the Green Bay Packers.
I
It is
that's what
it
I was.
is.
That's what I was
Yeah.
waiting for.
No, I've watched him destroy the Lions. I get it. He's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. It's not that at all.
Okay, so for me, my number 3 is Stephon Diggs.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's just.
And he was on my fantasy team.
Yeah, he's. It's the same thing with every one of these guys. Like, they're just phenomenal, and there's so many good quarterbacks throwing the ball to all of these wide receivers.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
that's why I was gonna do tandems or whatever. And
yeah, and it
Shot
should
that
say
down.
something. It should say something to everybody that I didn't put a Brown on my list at all.
well, not yet. Then you just ruined it. But yeah,
Well, yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Not yet.
that's
But
fine.
still.
That's whatever.
Yeah, I have no problem saying this. It's everybody should know everybody should know this list. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
But there's so many good quarterbacks throwing the ball to all of these wide receivers. It's really just it's plug and play. Honestly, you have like 6 or 7 guys in the whole league that you could literally just plug and play in the top 5.
This is definitely this was more difficult than running backs for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because like
there's more of them, but yeah, there's just more top tier.
Well, yeah, and there's more top tier, but there's who is the best deep ball guy? You know, who can go vertical on you? Who's the best big guy? Who's the best slot guy?
Yeah, you could put them all into the categories as well.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, it really depends on personal preference. Like
and that's what my personal preference for my number 1 is, and then for our number 2 here, I think you'll know what I'm talking about here. So number 2 for Nick is Devontae Adams. So right there for you,
Yeah.
he's still on everyone's top and everything. For me, it's Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fact that he's out of they do jet motion with him, and then they'll dump him off. They'll do a bubble pass, and he takes it for an 80-yard touchdown. And then he's taking the top off the D. I mean, the way they use him, the multifaceted ways that they use him,
it's just so much.
Makes him. He might not be a better wide receiver, and I put that in quotations, than Devontae Adams, but he's a bigger threat. I don't know how to explain that.
So
to the point where it's like,
I get it.
Yeah,
I have Tyreek Hill at my number 2 as well.
Yeah,
and the fact that Nick doesn't just blows my mind. Like,
well, you want me to really blow your mind? He doesn't have Tyreek Hill at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have Tyreek Hill at all on his list.
Yeah,
it's just insane to me. The kid runs.
He might be
like
going for pure wide receiver. What's what I was saying. Like, receiver, he's probably not better than Adams. A threat, he's better than Adams.
Yeah. So this is where, but see, this is the thing though. This is what I was talking about when I said there are so many different categories to wide receivers.
Yep.
That he is just an all-purpose guy. Like, he's an all-purpose wide receiver.
Yeah, and then you look at, like, I don't put much stock into Madden ratings, but at the same time, for wide receiver, they were introducing like the stats for wide receivers in Madden, and they went spectacular catch, deep route, middle route, short route. Different players were different play. I mean, you're right.
Yes.
There's just so many different variants to wide receivers that it's difficult to deal with.
Yeah, and so like, but with Tyreek, he might not be. So he has spectacular speed. No one is arguing that. He runs like a 4.1
cheetah,
or some
baby.
shit. Like, yeah, cheetah. He's so fucking fast. But he also has good hands. He can catch the ball. It's not like if he goes over the center or over the middle and gets a 3-yard slant. It's not like he's dropping the ball just because he gets smacked by a linebacker. You know what I mean? He's holding on to that damn thing. If a linebacker can actually catch him, because God knows they probably can't.
Right.
But he's just got that multifaceted play style to him.
Yep.
Like you said, he could run a bubble screen, but he could also just run a fucking go route, outrun literally everybody on the field, and Patrick Mahomes just drops a dime right in his fucking purse, like just right here. and but he might not be the best route runner. He might not be the best possession guy, but he is the one of the biggest threats on the field
On the
at
field
all
every
times.
time. Yes.
At
Yep.
all times.
Yep. And with Kansas City, you don't know how they're going to use them.
Yeah, and that's he, like you said, jet sweeps. He does that. Bubble screens. He does that. He do the 5 to 7 yard routes? Hell yeah, he does out routes. He does in routes. He does fucking slants. He does goes. He has a post. He has it all. He can do. He might not be the sharpest. He might round out his routes, which is fine because no one's catching him. I don't have to run a crisp route when I could literally just outrun the guy.
Yeah. So for our number one, I think you're the only one that has a different. Both Nick and I put DeAndre Hopkins, Nuke.
I have zero issue with DeAndre Hopkins being your number one guy. Yeah. There is no argument that I can give.
Him. Here's my problem with him, and this is straight fantasy.
There you go.
He is the king of yardage.
But he can't get in the end zone.
He's not getting in that damn end zone.
No.
He'll give me a 10, 11 points just straight yards. And that's it.
He could get a 99-yard catch. He's not getting in that end zone.
That's right. That is rough about him. Yeah. They need to get him in the end zone. But other than that, you can't stop him. You can't guard him. You can't. They tried. He caught it over top of them. It was. I think that was the Bills game last year.
Yeah.
I mean that play is one of the best that's ever happened.
It's just his hand. It's just his hand. That's pretty much all
absolutely
you can see.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
So for me, like I said, I have no problem with DeAndre Hopkins being your number one. You could plug, like I said, if you came out to me and said, "Hey, give me your top 5 wide receivers," and you had Mike Adams or Michael Thomas on there, if you had Mike, like he has Mike Evans, which I get that. I mean, but there's just so many other people.
So great,
just,
yeah,
they're all great. They're all great guys. It's just and this is weird because with being a Browns fan, we have OBJ who might be ready for the start of the season. We're not sure yet because he's playing it close to the vest. So I won't say that he's going to be there, but I like having a bigger guy. Like I like my number one wide receiver to be 6'5" and just a massive presence and just able to go up there and grab the ball and and moss everybody out there. But I mean, that's Davante Adams. He's a big guy. He's a big wide receiver. He
Can't argue with that either.
He runs crisp routes. He has the hands to make it. And also the fact that Aaron Rodgers is coming back next week. We could do this list next week.
And Rodgers actually retires.
And Rodgers actually retires. Davante Adams, he's down and below. He is down.
Not because of his talent, but the talent around him.
Yeah, not because of his talent at all, but just for the simple fact that he doesn't have Rodgers throwing him the ball anymore.
Yeah, putting in that tight window where he still catches it. Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, Pat Mahomes, Stephon Diggs, Jason Allen. I can never remember who the fucking quarterback for
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Josh Allen. Wait, did I say Josh Allen?
You said Jason.
Did I for real?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Josh
whatever.
Allen.
It's Josh Allen. We got it right.
Yeah. I can never remember who the Arizona quarterback is.
Kyler Murray.
We just talked about him. I was thinking of the one before him. The one that they drafted like second or third overall or whatever, and then they came back the next year and got Kyler Murray.
Josh Rosen.
Yes, there it is. So Kyler Murray's throwing the ball to DeAndre Hopkins. And Julio, I think Julio has the
Ryan Tannehill. It's a good deep ball guy.
It's a good deep ball guy, and that's what you want with Julio. So like all these guys have great quarterbacks throwing them the ball. That's the thing. That's almost what makes a good wide receiver is a quarterback who's able to put the ball where they can catch it. Now they have to have the skills and sometimes just the physical presence to be able to catch those balls. But what really helps send these wide receivers over everybody else is the talent throwing them the ball.
Yeah.
And so with Devontae Adams, with Rodgers coming back, possibly, I think honestly between Rodgers and Devontae, you're gonna have a lot of angry games. Like I think they're coming back for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and it's to beat Brady and it's to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's no reason to come back if you're not thinking Super Bowl.
Correct. And now, I know we've already talked about him, but I didn't get to bring it up. With Rodgers coming back, the Green Bay Packers have to. I'm not saying they don't have talent, but they have to go out and try and get like the bigger name guys. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all of the wide receiver talk and like players moving in Julio and all that stuff. Like there was nobody talking about the Packers going out and getting Julio. There's no talk about any big name player trying to go to Green Bay, and Green Bay needs to change that for Aaron.
That's not their style.
That's not their style. That's what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
and I can I can feel it in my bones that is what pisses Rodgers off. Like to him, it just feels like they're not trying to win a Super Bowl because they're not going out and trying to get these big name guys.
Sure.
Like they are all about drafting and developing players, which is great. It's fantastic. But when someone is offering you a pot of gold, you don't say no. I'm gonna go work on something else over here. You know what I mean?
Right. I'd rather earn my gold.
Yeah, I'd rather earn my gold than just be given it. That's just stupid.
Agreed.
Thanks for saving my analogy for me.
I got you, bro.
Okay, so yeah, this is gonna be a short episode of the KD Sports Talk because we don't have Nick fucking babbling for 20 minutes about random ass shit.
Constantly.
So, I mean,
oh, did you know in golf today? Yeah, great, awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Okay, I mean, listen, if you want to talk about other sports, I'm down to talk about other sports.
Did you see that someone hit a ball far today? Awesome, Nick. Great, cool, man.
We didn't
tell us about the fucking rugby team too. Let's go.
We didn't bring up the Olympics at all as of right now. Ohio State. Jesus Christ, my brain is so fucking fried.
Yeah, you gotta get it.
Shut up! I have been working my ass off for the past 5 days on my new house. Leave me alone,
guys. Listen, guys. Fuck all other countries. It's literally the United States versus the rest of the entire world.
Against the world, right? So the U.S.
and we're all about U.S. Go USA.
Yeah. For real. We're in second place with medal count right now. China's at 18.
China's been killing it.
Yeah.
They've been killing it.
They have been. But we still have like our big like sports like swimming. We're still in that. We're still in gymnastics right now. There's just, I mean, all of the
water polo. We just beat Japan like 26-3.
I mean, the fact that that is just absolutely insane to me.
My wife's crazy. She's watching that shit. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So we're doing good in the Olympics. We'll be top of the medal count in the next couple of days. I'm sure of it. By the time we come out, it's going to be USA against the world, like it always is.
Right.
So that's going to be the end of this episode of the KD Sports Talk. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The link will be in the description down below, in the show notes, whatever. Make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your audio podcasts. Especially on Apple, make sure you're liking or make sure you're subscribing to the podcast. Make sure you're doing all that good stuff that helps the algorithm, that helps us get discovered. That's what we want. Next week, hopefully all three of us will be back. We got to do another top 5. It's a thing now. So
defenses.
Do you want to just do full on defense?
Well, we got tight ends as well.
Oh yeah, let's do tight ends. That'll be fun. Let's do tight ends next week. We'll talk about full on defenses. I feel like we're doing this like a fantasy draft where we
Pretty much.
To quote a great man named Ruxin, we're just gonna draft one shit zipping defense and move on with our life.
That's right.
So yeah, next week we'll do top 5 tight ends. That'll be a fun time. And hopefully something else happens in the world of football. I don't
Hopefully
think
Rodgers plays.
Hopefully Roger is still around. We'll let you know next week.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.